Hey, this week Freewheeling is brought to you courtesy of skateboarding, one of the most inspiring congregations in all of the Church of Action Sports. It's a packed show. This is how it lines up. Our special guest this week is none other than Stu Love and Skate, aka Stu Smith, the creative genius behind the Love and Skate skate brand and one of the real balls of energy that drives not just British skateboarding but European skateboarding. And then later on in the Zoom show we've got the evergreen Mark Churchill and one of the pioneers of British female skating and now one of the figureheads for Skateboard England, Lucy Adams. Here she is. It's our lady in Devon, home of the cream tea and Jenny Jones. How you doing, Jones?
Oh, I'm doing okay. It's been the up and down with the weather this last few days for sure. I just forced myself to go out running in the rain.
I hit the wall this week. I fully hit the wall. I'm not going to deny it. I've been upbeat until now, and then I think it was Sunday or Monday. I just was like, totally done.
Slumped. I know. I think everyone gets their slump at different stages, don't they? Depending on what they're doing and where they're at. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a bit more back in the game now. You know, loads of water on the plants as well. So I'm like, yes.
I was going to say that's the thing that everyone wants to know right now. How are your green fingers coming along?
I can't show you the courgette because it's outside, but it's definitely growing. I mean, like the leaves.
Well, there's an actual courgette on it.
Oh no! But the leaves are like growing huge. No, and then I've got like these runner beans, and I probably have to wait there. Let me show you.
Yes, Jones. Look at this.
Yeah,
what more important thing?
No, but these need like stalks. You know, like where you sort of then wrap them round. But yeah, what do I know? I nearly tripped over this from last night.
There you have it.
Does anyone recognise those? The shot glass, ski shot glass.
Yeah, if you've never been to après ski, hold it up again. Let's describe how it works. If you've never been to après ski in a ski resort, most bars will have one of these. It's a ski with a couple of holes drilled through it, and then you stand at the bar and put a shot glass in each of those holes, and then you all have to scull them at the same time. It's a very good way to make sure no one gets out of the shot, isn't it?
Yeah, because otherwise it just goes all over them.
Where did you get that from?
I got it ages ago from someone, après ski or something. I can't remember. And but yeah, I brought it out because last night was the snow camp charity event.
Did you steal it in a drunken melee? She did. Fully busted her. Right. Without further ado, you're looking into what's going on in skateboarding on social media this week. Give us a summary.
Yeah, so basically, I've had a look, and people are turning their garages, their homes, their driveways into skate parks, so that they can, you know, how little or how big they are. That's basically what they're doing. Let's have a look.
Hot off the press from the Shot Ski Thief. Let's check it out.
In today's InstaCheck, we have a look at how skaters are using their own homes to get a little shred in. First up is the man they call the boss, Mr. Andrew Reynolds. One of today's Zoom guests, Lucy Adams, gets creative in her backyard. Superstar Nigel Houston proves he has got bags of style, no matter where he skates. But line of the day goes to Garrett Ginner.
That is an impressive pad, Garrett. Love it. Now it's time, though, for our star guest of this week, and it's none other than Stu Smith, the man behind the very powerful but ever so progressive. And I suppose the word that's always used in conjunction with Stu Smith is creative skate brand. It's Love and Skate. So, Stu, let's see where you are, fella. Hey.
Hello, hello. How's it
How
going?
you doing? You good, fella?
I'm very good, thank you, mate. Yeah, good.
Awesome. So give us a little rundown. How's lockdown been for you?
Lockdown's been okay. I started it with a broken ankle, so I was already in kind of my own little personal injury lockdown for a couple of weeks, just laid up in my bed on crutches, getting about very little. And then lockdown happened, so then that was kind of a good excuse to kind of do nothing and kind of get myself kind of healed up. And then it's basically been trying to be as productive as I possibly can, trying to stay creative, and also trying to print some boards and print some shirts for the stores that are fortunate enough to be selling kind of online, so that they can kind of keep going. So yeah, I've been in the studio a little bit, which has been good.
What's the taste been for you like? Because certainly everyone I spoke to in the bike industry has said that business is booming. Like they're struggling to get stuff out, but the orders are flowing in because people have rediscovered their bikes. Is it the same in skate?
I would say so. Yeah. I mean, while I'm on this, I have to say a massive thank you to every store that's ordered from Love and Skate for like the last kind of spring drop, because the orders have been amazing, and then shops have reordered again, which has been incredible. So yeah, business has been booming. It's been brilliant.
Well, it's good to hear, because the biggest worry in this time is that action sports starts to feel the pinch if everyone just goes out and buys an iPhone or an iPad instead of skateboards or bikes. Yeah. Give us a tour of HQ there. It looks incredible.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm in the Love and Skate HQ now. I can give you a little. I'll start with the ramp, because the ramp's the really fun bit. So we go here. We're lucky enough to have our own little ramp there, so you can see that, like little wooden mini ramp. There's a big picture of Jordan from his pro board at the end of last year. And then we go through here. I'm lucky enough to share the studio with a couple of guys. There's Palomino, and then there's a couple of illustrators, G and Isabel, that are in that little room there. And then we go through to the Love and Skate bit. So this is a lot of the screen printing equipment, like the washout booth and all that sort of thing. The board, screen printing press, the carousel, and then the tunnel dry. There's the run of Metallica boards that we've done in the past, and then the pro boards. So you got Jordan, Alex, Lucy's latest one, and then two from the past. And then through here, there are all the inks for any of you ink nerds out there. There's a few anyway. And then this is the little office and the storage room. And then this is, yeah, look at this. It's good. So it's a real business, because we actually have a stationery cupboard. There you go. So real business.
The lovely part of this is that it's not just a sterile factory. That's a proper den.
It is a bit of a den. It at times does serve very well as kind of as my own personal shed, which is kind of nice. But I guess it is a little bit kind of different, I'd say, from maybe other operations where, I mean, we have the factory, the shipping area, the storage unit, the skate ramp, and the office, kind of all in one place, which is good.
One of the things is that a Holston.
It is, yeah.
Oh, lovely, great tasting lager.
Color coordinated washout booth as well. You know.
I was going to ask actually, what's the transition on the mini ramp? What did you go for on the trannies?
Well, we wanted to make. You and Bauer made it, by the way. One of our team rider and expert ramp builder. We wanted to make it so that it was nice and steep, so we could actually learn some stuff on it. But it's because of there's not a huge amount of flat bottom, so it's pretty whippy, but it's really fun. So much fun. I broke my ankle on it. That fun.
Oh, right. Okay. But look on the bright side. There's probably never a better time to have a broken ankle.
Oh no, it's been brilliant. And actually, I'm getting better thanks to the brilliant NHS, of course. But yeah, no, I'm on the mend now. I'm on physio stage, and I'm being good. I'm looking after it.
One of the things that always interests me with British skate brands, there's such a rich history with them. You kind of look at Deathbox, Flip, Unabomber, Blueprint, A Third Foot, like and then yourselves. There's this really, each brand has embraced its Britishness. It kind of hasn't tried to be anything else, and I think that's especially true of Love and Skate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know what to say without sounding kind of cheesy, but I guess it's just kind of honest, not really trying to be anything that we're not. I think everything that we do as far as kind of graphics and events and the stuff that we do kind of reflects the team riders and the artwork that myself and those guys are into. And then we're always trying to kind of think out the box a little bit and try and kind of push things creatively. But ultimately, it does come down to some heavy British ties, the tea drinking and all that business. Yeah, but I always kind of look to those guys for I don't want to do anything that they think is rubbish, so that they have a good deal of input into everything that goes on.
One of the key things for me though has always been the team. How do you get on the Love and Skate team? Because it is so the type of skater. I mean, it's exactly the same as like Antihero or Baker. A lot of the brands who have a really distinct style of skater who get on there. For me, Love and Skate skaters are so distinctive in their style. It has the feel of a gang that just kind of
it is a gang. It fully is a gang. And I mean, I've always thought that, but when the video came out early last year, I really thought that it is a proper little crew, and they're all really, really tight. It's a lot of fun filming. Jackson, who made the film and is filming the new one as well, which will be coming out at some point at the end of this year. He said to me before about lockdown, he's like, I'm really sad that I can't just go on holiday with my mates. And that's when he says that, he means that he wants to go filming with them all. So yeah, it's a really tight crew. It's brilliant.
I've had the pleasure of watching Jordan and Sid skate in the flesh a couple of times, and I mean, they are wizards. There's that lovely. You see them on footage, like it is with a lot of pro skaters, but with Sid, there's just this: I'm making it, or I'm staying on the board. Whether I do what I meant to say, whether I complete what I set out to, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna float around on this thing. It's an absolute joy to watch. It must be infectious skating around that.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when I'm skating with him, I get really carried away and far too big for my boots, and generally end up hurting myself just because watching him. I mean, watching all of them is amazing. But yeah, it's magical.
One of the times the team always shines, so is on that the Larks Team Trouble trip. Have you been out to a couple of those?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I think this year will be my fourth. They're brilliant. Yeah. Terrifying. Some hangovers, man. It's good.
And it's got that. My only experience of kind of that heavier session is Marseille Bowl Riders back in the day, where
Yeah, yeah.
every inch of the platform is packed and everyone's trying to get on the ramp, and it fit that kind of intensity. It's a little bit harder to find at comps these days.
Yeah, Alan, Mag, and Sedi, the guys that organise it, along with the Freestyle Academy, they from the get-go have kind of wanted to keep it very kind of intimate and this kind of like a sort of family kind of vibe. So they've never made it enormous. But I mean, its kind of stature keeps growing and growing, but there's only so many people that you can fill to watch that thing, and there's only so many teams that can enter. So it has this really, yeah, it's called Team Trouble. It has a brilliant team vibe. It's brilliant.
One of the things that you've got to talk about when you talk about Love and Skate is the graphics, because obviously we saw a couple of them there, but the Be Serious one that you just brought out, it's a pretty social responsibility. It's a different angle for skate decks. I think we haven't seen too many of those in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of wonder whether it's a good idea mixing skateboarding and politics. I mean, I'm not scared of the odd kind of political kind of graphic or something like that. But with the bee thing, it was an idea that my brother Graham, he's the guy who painted it. We kind of had it together, and he did that brilliant painting. And I just sort of a lot of the time feel that we have, as a company, have a kind of platform to make graphics and make statements, and they might as well be ones that that can have a kind of positive outcome. So it's something that I feel like strongly about, the environment and doing my bit. So I just figured it would be a really nice thing to do.
I think it feels to me, but it could just be me. Like, I'm mid-40s now, and I feel like I'm seeing more and more skaters my age still dicking around on skateboards, and there's a really, really broad church now. You've got kind of 30 years of people who got into it in the second or even first wave sometimes. So that's kind of 40, 50 years deep, maybe. And that means you can make graphics like that for people. There's a lot of different people involved in skateboarding.
Yeah. I think skateboarding at the moment is in an amazing place where anything goes, really. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it however they like. Whatever you're kind of into, whatever inspires you. Then you can just do it, and skateboarding is very acceptable. I think a lot of that kind of bullish nature has kind of gone, and if you're into it and you're genuinely into it, then you'll be welcomed with open arms, and I think skateboarding is in a brilliant place because of that.
Okay, it's the elephant in the room. I'm sure I'm going to talk to Lucy about it a little bit later. Does that include the Olympics?
I mean, I still don't 100% know what I feel about the Olympics, but if it does good for skateboarding, if it gets loads of people who otherwise wouldn't have had the chance or the opportunity to get into skateboarding, if it means that more high quality skate parks are built and less shit prefabricated ones are built, if less council money is wasted and actual council money is spent on producing really, really brilliant parks and opening up opportunity for people who want to go skateboarding in a really, really brilliant, amazing environment, then I think it's a fantastic thing.
Okay, I believe in the football factor, and I think that skateboarding's probably the only action sport that can really level it, in the sense that it costs so little to get the board. Right. Comparative to surfing or snowboarding or climbing, and geographically all you need is that concrete and a curb next to you. So I think you could see so many people get into it, and that different cultural translation of how to use a board with what you've got in front of you means that it could become even stronger.
Yeah. And if it's not your thing and you hate the Olympics and you think that skateboarding is just you and your, I don't know, you like your punk music in your earphones, just skating your curb, then brilliant. Ignore it and just go skate your curb, and it doesn't matter. Excellent.
And that is the best way to finish this interview. Stu, thank you so much for talking
Thank you.
to us.
It's been a pleasure.
An absolute pleasure, fella.
All right, cheers. See you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to go and see our second round of social media, and this time it features Letitia Buffoni with Jenny Jones.
Now, some skaters get creative even if they don't have a skateboard. Others, like Jack Pembroke, like to combine skating with other sports. In the case of Brazil's Alex Sorgenti, it involves some pool time. And to finish it all off with a pretty impressive tour of her house, one of the world's biggest female skate stars, Letitia Buffoni.
Essa é a minha quarentena. Bem-vindos à La Casa Buffoni.
Cabin fever biting at a level that's usually reserved for Antarctic researchers at the end of a 6-month stint, but it's very entertaining for those of us watching. Now, as Stu Smith and I talked about earlier on in the Love and Skate interview, the skateboard is one of the true levelers. You don't actually need an all singing, all dancing skate park. All you need is a bit of concrete. A curb's nice, but you can have a flat bit of concrete and still have a lot of fun. And in time-honoured tradition now, to pay homage to Eric Coston, let's see if I can do a kickflip. No, I can't. Scale it back, maybe a pop shove it. I'm going to have another go at that kickflip. Oh, I can't even do a pop shove it. Right, I'm going back to the kickflip. I want this before we kick out. This section has actually, throughout all of the weeks, become just a ritual humiliation for me. Come on, kickflip. You got this. So close! Come on, stick with me. Give me a cheer at home. Leave something in the comments that'll G me up. Ooh, it's dirty. I'm not calling that a mate. One more go. Come on, Eddie. Oh, I'll take that one. That was still horrible, but you can have a lot of fun on a skateboard with very, very little. Time now for the Zoom game, and this one is entertaining. Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's Zoom game. 3 esteemed guests once again joining me for the ultimate challenge, one that is one of my personal favourites tonight. It is the ultimate cabin fever challenge. So in the blue corner, we have one of the voices of British skateboarding, a BAFTA nominated TV presenter and a member of the OAEE, that is the Order of the Andy Evans Empire. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mark Churchill.
Hello everyone, thank you, good to see you all. I'm looking for a good result today.
Oh yeah, I've got high hopes for you. Also in there we've got one of the pioneers of women's skateboarding, one of the greatest female skaters Britain's ever produced, and now the chair of UK, Skate England. It's Lucy Adams. Woo! And joining us, as always, our perennial guest, the bronze medalist from Sochi in 2014 in slopestyle, first Olympic medal on snow in 90 years. It's Miss Jenny Jones.
Hello. I'm excited for the game. I'm excited to hear from the skaters.
Right, we've already had a chat, Jenny. So, Lucy, let's start with you. How's lockdown been?
Yeah, it's been interesting, missing the ramps, but enjoying the curbs.
How much of a hand did you have in that social competition? Because at the start of lockdown, the British champs ran that online comp, didn't they?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we just thought straight away we were meant to be doing it on the weekend of 28th and 29th of March, and everybody just seemed so excited by it. So we thought straight away, let's just see what everyone's up for on the carpet or the grass in their gardens. It was wicked.
It worked. There were some brilliant ones. I think my favourite of all of them was someone was going for the pop shove it on top of the coffee table, and it turned sour.
Yeah. So didn't want to ruin their vinyl flooring, but absolutely annihilated their coffee table in the process.
What about you, Church? What have you been up to?
Oh wow, it's been a roller coaster so far. I was away in Bolivia and I only just got back in time for lockdown. It was pretty sketchy. I got one of the last flights out of South America to the UK, and then I came back and I was homeless. So I've been doing up my old flat and trying to move in. I'm currently camped up at my dad's house, but it's been fun spending time with him, painting, laughing, skating a little bit, cruising around with the dog, him chasing me. It's been fun. Yeah, but I don't know. I quite like it. It's quiet. It's nice. It's weird though. Like, you know, if I could go skating properly, it'd be quite nice. It'd be like living in a really small country or something. You don't see many people.
We've got the weirdest thing going down at the moment. The skate parks, because I'm in New Zealand, the North Island have opened up all of their skate parks and playgrounds, and on the South Island, everything's still shut. So a lot of my friends down here are posting clips from skate parks, and we're not allowed anywhere near them. And I have never had FOMO or a real, like, I've got a real pent up frustration at the moment. I wrote to my local council 2 days ago with
amazing,
thinly veiled rage that I wasn't allowed to go skating.
Have they sort of said why? Is it just, why is the rule separate?
Not yet. No, I haven't had a letter back. Maybe I was too blunt.
Is there any like, are the skate parks looking like they'll open at all soon in the UK, Lucy?
There's not been any sort of news yet. No, I mean, we're just waiting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen like people like building their own like mini ramps and stuff.
I'm so jealous of those people that have got rooming gardens that have been doing that. It's just awesome.
Yeah,
I've seen so many people building stuff. It's insane, like concrete, wood, plastic, anything. People propping stuff up against their sheds and all sorts. It's so good. But my friend who owns a skate shop, JJ Skate Shop's got a concrete mini ramp in the back, and his daughter's learned so many tricks. She didn't even skate before lockdown, and now she can do shove-its, like nearly dropping in, like so much stuff. It's amazing watching progression go up, just in people's back gardens. It's so good.
Oh, that's sick.
That's a really interesting question, actually, whether we'll see a massive surge in kind of old school Rodney Mullen, Per Wellender kind of flatland freestyle after this.
Yeah, for sure. Just people in shin pads doing handstands on their boards and stuff in their garages, or knocking the spade off the corner of the shed or something. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, I'm going to quickly explain.
We just did the King and Queen of the Carpet comp, and we saw so much like old school and freestyle coming through in that. It was wicked.
Oh.
I'm going to go. I saw that on your feed, actually. I need to go and get into that. I haven't had a look yet. I'm going to quickly explain the game. This is my favourite cabin fever game. It is called Kitchen Robot. In snowboarding, when you get stuck in a small apartment in a big storm for a long time, Kitchen Robot is the best alleviation. It goes really well with a couple of beers or maybe some spirits, but it doesn't matter. We can go now.
9 a.m. here.
Yeah, I know that, but it's not an issue. What you're going to do? We're going to take.
Yeah, I'm wasted.
I'm going to say, ladies first. We'll start with you, Lucy. You're going to have 90 seconds to go into the kitchen. I'm going to talk to Mark and Jen. And then when I'll give you a countdown on your 90 seconds, and then you're going to come back and present yourself as the best robot that you can build out of the kitchen. Are you ready?
Will I mute?
No, you can keep it on. We want to hear what's going on.
What, she's got to put it on her body?
Yeah. She's going to look like a robot when she comes back.
Okay.
And marker when she comes back. Okay, Lucy, you ready?
Yeah.
Good luck, Lucy.
Good luck, Liz.
Cheers.
Get set, go.
She looked keen then. She was like scouring like.
She's like, I'm in. Oh, the foil. I can see the foil
Now,
already.
While Lucy's gone, I'm going to take you on a short tour of her haircuts over the last 2 decades. She's going to love this. So we're going to start with, I think this is the kind of classic Lucy Adams hairdo. It's kind of the undercut. And what we can't see that is the top knot, actually.
Oh, you can't see it, though.
No, it's definitely there, though.
Oh, she's gone for the classic already. There's tinfoil coming out. Then there's this one. This one reminds me, it's kind of, we can see a little bit of it. Cornrows.
Cornrows.
Yeah. I know you're a fan of that.
What phase would you call this one, Luz? Cornrows.
Lucy, can you hear us?
Don't interrupt her. She's clad in armour.
What's this phase of hairstyle we've got up here?
Lenny Kurt. Phase.
Lenny Kurt. Okay. I like to call this one. This is like Christy Turlington in the Mario Testino phase.
Looks more like a tennis player.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Look
It is lovely.
Okay. Look at this. We're trying out. See, I think you want to try and trap the sieve over your face under the saucepan.
I love that she's trying on different size saucepans.
Right, you got 10 seconds. You got 10 seconds left, Lucy.
Oh no, quick!
Okay.
Oh yeah, she's done it. She's found the colander.
I like this one. Yes, there we go. Okay. Kitchen robot presents herself.
In foil cravat.
I like this one a lot. Okay, Lucy Adams, that is a fantastic effort.
Lucy, you have to speak so she comes on the big screen. Let's see.
It's awful.
Okay, Church, you ready?
I have no idea where anything is in my dad's kitchen, but yeah, let's just do it.
Okay, I've got a better idea. If any of you want to go and look at this, Church's dad's got an enormous bike. Is it a Honda Gold?
No, that's my dad's neighbour. That's my dad's neighbour. Yeah.
Just go and get that and ride that into the kitchen.
Just ride it through the kitchen. Like, I'll go find some robotic stuff, I reckon.
Should I just go at the same time, Ed? I'll just go at the same time.
No, I like having the chat while he's gone. Come on.
Okay.
Right, you're off for 90 seconds.
I'm just a little bit scared about what you're going to be chatting about when I'm gone.
I've got some great photos of you, don't worry. Okay, you have 90 seconds. You got 90 seconds, Church, starting now. Okay.
I'm out of shot, aren't I?
Lucy, you must have some absolute
I just looked in the cupboard and there's a washing machine.
Get in it!
Okay, we looked through your hairstyles then, Lucy, while you were gone. But this is one of my favourite Church hairstyles.
The Bic, yeah.
Yeah, I think really that's the only one. There's a little bit here.
Quite similar, doesn't it?
Yeah. This one now, I think that's a strong look.
Oh my god.
That's a scary look.
It's actually more about the hats with Church, isn't it?
Oh.
That's Milky. My bat called Milky. He's famous.
I want to know what's going on. This one.
That's the fridge.
It's.
No.
That's Street League London last year, maybe?
Definitely, with Powley.
Providing the entertainment.
I mean, from your perspective,
with metal.
It doesn't need metal. Maybe you could be a spice robot.
Throwing up the ideas now.
I've actually got a crystal ball, and we can take a look at Churchill and see what he's going to look like in 30 years. Do you want to see this?
Yes, please.
Like it? Like what you've done?
How long have I got there? Oh, you suck.
Definitely the cows.
Your time's technically up, but I'm going to give you another 15 seconds to find some glory.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a tumble dryer is actually deceptively light. If you can unplug it, you could put that on your head.
No.
Yeah, fully.
Hey Lucy, did your skate deck come out right before lockdown as well?
During. It's been an amazing little process. Not as collaborative as we'd liked on the screening, but yeah, I've worked with a London artist. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Bit of a statement board. It's a bit different to what I've done before.
Yeah, I know. Is it sort of the swear word sort of shows but doesn't show kind of thing?
Yeah, it's glittery, so you can see
Have you got one there? Can you go and grab it?
Oh yeah, have you got it there?
Yeah, I'll get it. One sec.
Come on.
It's hard times. It's really hard times, guys.
I've got to say, despite the lack of tinfoil, I'm going to give you a 7. I'm definitely marking you up on loose.
Look, 5, 6, 7.
There we go.
7.
Okay.
Thanks.
Jenny?
Wait, I want to see the board. I want to see the board before I go.
Yes.
So you can sort of...
Yes.
That is sick.
Right, I'm going.
That is sick. Oh, Joan, she even beat the timer. I mean, from both of your perspective, let's do a little bit of chat on this. Where do you guys sit? A little bit of serious chat. Where do you guys sit on skateboarding in the Olympics? Because from a snowboarding perspective, it's been weird. It hasn't been the best thing in the world. But I think because skateboarding is so accessible, the Olympics could genuinely be an amazing kind of leaping off point for it. Discuss.
There's, like you said, Ed, there's going to be so much weirdness. There already is weirdness creeping in, but it's still fun. And for me, that's okay. You know, it's still fun. There's competitive. We're all competitive as skateboarders anyway, if with ourselves, if we're not with other people.
Yeah, I think there's pluses and minuses across the board anyway. Like whatever sport goes into something, as soon as a large association has to install a fair set of rules on anything, it becomes a slightly different beast. But there will still be little Ed smashing it down the local car park on a curb, completely like in no knowledge of the Olympics whatsoever, shredding against mates and friends and stuff. Like Lucy says, with the competition side of things, you are always competitive, but mainly with yourself, I think. I certainly was. Like, I'd be like, right, I've got to do this. This is what I'm going to do today. And I'd try and almost one-up myself on something. But, like, I think, you know, people are still going to shred because skateboarding's yours because it's one of those individual sports. Like, you know, you do it on your own. Therefore, you know, it's not like you're waiting on your team who are super into the Olympics and you're not, or the other way around or whatever. It's an individual thing that you do on your own, and you can go and do that at South Bank with Street League going on up the road and people, you know, they're still doing their thing. So I don't know, it's a personal opinion that whether you like it or not, it's going to boost, you know, things about skateboarding. Sponsorship's going to get better, more parks, more awareness.
To add to that, you know, we've got a voice now. We've got a bit of a seat at the table with key funders, key authorities that are going to help us and support skateboarding to grow.
I mean, I've been doing a lot of the MCing on the World Skate circuit, and I've been doing that for all last year. And the people behind it really care about skateboarding. There's obviously upper echelons of people that are in World Skate and things that don't come from a background of skateboarding, but there's people that are involved in it on a passionate level that are really, really trying to protect it. And you can kind of see that coming across, and there's loads of banter, and, you know, a lot of the people that are involved in it in the background are really kind of trying to keep skateboarding's core protected, if you know what I mean. But sometimes that's an impossible thing when you're dealing with passionate people and their passion, you know.
I've always looked up to skateboarding as the best in class at that, though. And sometimes it feels really quite fierce, but skateboarding polices itself, and as fierce as that policing is, it does protect the sport. And I think the big difference, if you look at all the other things it's going in with, apart from BMX, if you look at surfing, snowboarding,
climbing, those kind of other action sports that it's going to get measured against. For each of those, they're economically restrictive, and in most cases, they're geographically restrictive. You've got to spend a lot of money, and then you've got to travel, or you've got to live in those tiny spots. Skateboarding's the only one that has a football factor. You get a setup, and you can do it anywhere. Everyone has a piece of concrete or tarmac and a curb. And that I can't wait. Aside, politics aside, the fact that maybe every boy and girl in the world might be getting on a skateboard in the next 20 years, to see where that could take things creatively will be mental.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you can already see the level of skateboarding. Oh dear Lord, what is that?
You have done. You've outdone yourself.
Bang.
It was a bang, but it fell out. I can't pick it up because I'm holding my tin boobs.
I've got to say, Jones, I'm going to knock you down a couple of points because you had an extra 90 seconds.
You know what? I didn't feel like I could come in on such a serious conversation.
I like the earpieces hanging down on the side.
Yeah, you like that?
The comic timing was perfect. I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10, Jones, and that is definitely first place.
Well done, Johnny.
Anyway, sorry, you were in the middle of quite a
finish that thought, Mark.
I don't know what that thought was. There's so many thoughts going on at the moment. I can't remember what it was now. I was just completely awestruck by that robot that walked in. It was basically Ed 209 or something.
Well, it's the level of skateboarding that we're seeing. And
yeah. So I think the with the names that are involved on that whole circuit at the moment, the qualifying, gaining points for the Olympics, the level of skateboarding, I'm seeing it almost on an event like scale, going up and up and up, and the tricks that are being done so consistently that are so hard is insane. It's nuts that I'm even talking about them. I never thought I'd say those combinations of words like together. And the stuff people are doing switch now as well it's mind blowing. So I've already seen it getting pushed, and I think that level is just going to go up and up and up because that's seen as the norm now. Whereas years ago we would see new tricks done in magazines that would maybe take a while to get over here from the States, or new videos that were filmed like a year ago. So people were already doing better stuff. So the progression was slightly slower, but people are seeing it now on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Like people are seeing it right there and then.
Are you sometimes seeing new tricks straight away in the contest? So you're just like, oh, no one has seen that before, or is it usually on their Instagram first?
I think there's guys like Aurelian and Nigel that are doing stuff on their Instagram just as a laugh, like Nigel on his coffee table and stuff, like whatever. But you see these things like the interesting bits, the practice session, because obviously people are holding stuff back for the competition, but there's people still learning things out there on the course. It might be a bigger rail or a bigger ledge or something like that. And there's people like Angela Caro who's absolutely smashing it and doing some really, really tech stuff that I'd not seen him do before or any other people do. And then you see him sort of trying stuff like on big rails, like fakey 360 flip lip slides and stuff that other people, that's not a go-to trick. And he's like, you see him practicing it and then it becomes this trick by the end of the session. That's the thing that is incredible to me, that maybe that might be the first time he's tried it. And these aren't small rails either. These are big rails. So, you know, Angelo's like pushing things, you know, all of those guys like doing crazy stuff. Like he's doing those bigger spin flip front boards and all sorts of stuff. Like, but they're now standard tricks. And that's what's incredible to me, is that the standard go-to things, you know, it used to be a back lip was hard down around. Now it's like you got a 360 flip into something.
But let's talk about the women too. I mean,
there's like a young crop.
Yeah, that's the main advance that I've seen.
Those park women, I mean, you see from one of the first qualifiers, like the Dew Tour was this time last year in May, the progression from that competition to the world champs that just took place in September, there's, you know, is phenomenal. And I
had a question for you, Liz. would you, I mean, you did really hard yards in the UK, kind of pushing women's skating. Would you rather, if you could have your time again, would you rather be skating now at the current level and pushing through with all of these women who've got the benefit of all the groundwork that you laid, or would you rather do it as a pioneer again?
Oh, that's
gnarly
hard.
question.
Oh,
That's hard because you have only got your own experience of what you've been through.
And I wouldn't change that. You know, I wouldn't change how it happened and what happened for me, because there's so much good in that journey, and I still feel now like I'm skating the best I can, and I'm learning new stuff all the time. But I'd have loved to have had a shot. Definitely, I'd love to have had a shot.
You'd still smash it, Lucy.
The biggest difference between those two periods, I think, Lucy, would be that I imagine you were skating in the early days, you were skating on your own. And one of the things I noticed, Church, when we were at Roller Coaster, and there's a full quota of women skating there now, and the camaraderie between the female skaters is so lovely to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Like that whole scene is so tight. It seems like everybody's like hugging, everybody's hyped, you know, and that's the main progression I've seen over all of skateboarding, is that women's skateboarding has gone like vertically almost up. It's incredible, and there's some ladies out there that are really, really pushing and chomping at the heels of some of the best skaters in the world, regardless of what sex they are, you know.
Yeah.
Lucy, why do you actually think that is? Do you think it's the growth? There's more women at a higher level now to cause that push, or do you think it's something else?
Yeah, no, I do. I just think there's that combination of being able to, sort of like what Mark said earlier, you can just see it all the time. So the access to skateboarding and skateboarding at its best is much further and wider. I can just put it on Instagram and see the best stuff, whereas I had to wait for the magazine or the video. Okay. And there's just so much at your fingertips. I can follow infinite amount of women skateboarders now and just keep seeing it, whereas I used to seek it out. I used to refresh web pages to see if there was a new blog post with someone I'd never seen before, or a trick that I'd never seen a woman do before, but now it's just all there. And it's so for little girls that are just getting into it, they've just got all of this, like it's for them. Oh, they can just do it. Women can just
and
do
it's
it.
Also it's like it's a thing. Oh, that's what, you know, I can just go and do that. Whereas before it was like, can I go and do that? Is that all right to do it? Whereas now that's what happens. Like women go skateboarding as well. So I think that maybe, I don't know, brings some sort of sub level to start on, if you know what I mean. It's like, okay, I can go and do that. Whereas it's not a question. It's like, yes, I can go and do it.
Yeah, now it's not really about that now being, you know, female or male or whatever. It's more like what's the standard and where do I want to, you know, I just want to progress further.
Yeah, for sure, I reckon.
The benchmark I always use, I remember when I was 10, I got a lift in a mate's car, bigger boy's car, down to Bristol and skate the Pink Palace. To this day, one of the most intimidating things I can remember was being stood on the platform down there waiting to drop in. And I probably stood on the platform for about 4 hours. But it was all boys. Yeah, there were bigger boys, but it was all... And I look around the park now and I'm like, there's still so few women in a lot of the parks you go to. So just walking into the park as a female is a big, big step, because you don't know. There's no one else there to kind of put their arm around you until you get in and realise that everyone's cool. But yeah, just taking that step is still, it's a barrier.
Yes. Oh, for sure.
I think with a lot of the youngsters though, like, you know, like when you look at that Brazilian, what's the Brazilian?
India.
Flipping heck, yeah, and then you've got Sky, and then you've got we've got young Mia Brooks, who's from snowboarding world, but she's had a skate ramp. She's built with her dad a skate ramp, and she just, so they seem to just be fearless about it all. Not really, it's not a thing. I don't know, like it doesn't seem half as bad as it used to be like that.
Yeah.
See, I remember going to Southsea and Sue Hazel would be there, and she'd be holding her own again with the rest of the Zorlak crew, the Brooks and Gary Lee and all of those guys, and they were intimidating dudes. They were like gnarly, like proper gnarly guys, and she'd be dropping in doing layback airs and rock and rolls and holding her own. I remember just going, oh right, that's fine then. Like, that could be my mum shredding, you know. Like, and I remember from an early age just going, yeah, I wonder why more women don't skate. But thinking about it, like, I was intimidated by those dudes as well. And I haven't really thought about it that much on a level of walking in with your skateboard to a skate park or to a skate spot as a female and feeling a little bit more intimidated by some dudes like shouting and screaming and stuff. Like, yeah, it must be quite difficult, Lucy, like, in certain ways.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a very tight knit group of crew at the beginning, and so we went everywhere together, so I always had the benefit of them sort of like having my back. But I think that's why, you know, there's such a strong need for those sort of women and girls or like minority sessions, because they show like, this is a place, this is a friendly space, this is for you, this is your environment. And if they're just like the introduction and the first step to giving them some confidence that then skate park here, street skating there, wherever, then it's, for me, it's like vital. Because not everybody has that sort of what I had in that crew, or just that confidence from the beginning. I just wanted to skate and I wanted to learn new tricks, so I was just up for it.
Yeah. Those are very wise words. We've run out of time, people. So I'm going to say my thank yous. That was really not just entertaining, but very educational as well. Mark Churchill, Lucy Adams, Jenny Jones, and future Churchill with me. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Absolute pleasure. See you later.